Hi, this is Maria. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're making a variation on this card. I used Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper. That's the paper in the background here. Beautiful paper. We'll be using that again. But on this card I used Beside Me. We used this image and this stamp set here with the birds. I want to illustrate that you can use other stamp sets and mix and match. So I'm going to be using this image here from Places in the Heart with some of the sentiments from this stamp here. So there's no reason why not to mix and match if things are not lining up exactly the way you want. And if maybe you don't have the sentiment here that you wanted, but you have it in another. So let's do that. So I'm going to do, let's get here your cutting instructions. There you go. There are your cutting instructions. And I will get my paper in order here. You can take a picture of this screenshot, or you can go to mariascraftroom.com and you will find written instructions there, as well as additional pictures, a shopping list, and additional prior videos as well over there. There will be a link to this particular card in the video description below. Okay, so let's take that off. Beautiful. Okay, so we are going to, this is already cut for me. We're going to use this as a base, a model, and we're going to go ahead and do this over here. Let's go ahead and get our stamping done. We're using the exact same paper from Fresh as a Daisy. Okay, that's the back side. We're going to do the same thing as we did here. Let me go ahead and do the stamping, and then we'll get to that. So I need a silicone mat to use as a scratch pad, because the stamp that I want to use is this one, and we're going to go right off the paper. So this is the exact same size, and I'm going to use this stamp from Places in the Heart, and we're going to use You've Always Been There For Me and You Still Are from Beside Me. Alright, so I'm going to grab a big block, and we're going to use, I'm going to try to do all the stamping here first, and then we'll get to the rest of this. We're going to go right off the edge here. So we're going to position this pretty close to the top so that we have room on the bottom for the sentiment. Beautiful. I love the way this stamp gives you an instant little shading. On this one, I created, I don't know if you can tell here, but there's gray all around. I kind of shaded in a little like shadows all the way around this image. You could barely see it. You can see it in person really well. It's not coming up on the screen. But this one, you kind of have a built-in fuzz around that's just built into the stamp. I really like that. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then the wording here. You've always been there for me, and you still are, and some birds. We're going to kind of mimic this one. We're still using Early Espresso, and we're just going to center this. Beautiful. And on the inside, and you still are. Beautiful. On the inside, we did it this way. Okay. Very, very, very nice. All in Early Espresso. And now here I dip the edges into the ink as well as on this one, so we're going to do the same. This was Pecan Pie, but I think that brown is a little too light. That's why we're switching over. On this card we're using Early Espresso. And I'm going to do the same thing, where I'm going to dip my edges right into the color just so we have a little dimension there. When you do this, try not to touch those edges as they're drying. It doesn't take long to dry, but they will stain your fingers if you're not careful. So just give it a second and then you'll be able to touch those edges. All right, so we've done that on all of those, all the edges of those. And now we can start the assembly. And now we can start the coloring. So I'm going to use watercolor pencils. This is the old set. There are new colors. We're just going to use what we have here. So I'm going to pull the colors from here. I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. This is actually not Daffodil Delight. It is lemon, what is it called? Hold on. It is called Lemon Lolly, but I don't have Lemon Lolly, so we're going to use what we have. This is Daffodil Delight, and it's very close. We're going to use Garden Green because that is in there, and maybe some Night of Navy for the little boy's shorts. And I think we'll start from that. If we need more, we will grab some more colors. And we're going to use a blender pen for this as well. Now by now this is dry, so it's okay for me to handle this. Let's go ahead and start shading in all the areas that we want colored. We'll start with the blue. I'm going to just use the back side here to make sure that my pen doesn't have any color still on here, residual color from the last project. And we're just blending that color in. Okay. You could also do it here. Now let's take this yellow and shade in the dress. I love that we have built-in shadows with this particular stamp. We're going to make this ribbon yellow as well. Okay. I'm going to try to stay in the clear areas because we will pick up that brown from the stamp. We can go over it just a little bit just to mix in the yellow. And that's working out very well actually. Very nice. Beautiful. All right, and we're going to make the little shirt green. Okay. And now we can start putting this onto the card. So let's assemble here. We're going to put this one down with liquid glue. Remember, all the measurements are on the blog, or you can rewind and take a snapshot of the screen where we had the cutting instructions. All right, this one is going to go up on dimensionals. I'm using mini dimensionals today. Okay, and there's not a real direction to this paper. You can do it this way or this way, it doesn't matter. Now on this card, we skewed the image, so the pattern is straight and the card is skewed. We can do that, or we can skew the background and leave the card straight. Let's do that. We're going to skew the background. I'm just going to hover to make sure that even on the diagonal here, we're still inside of this frame. So similar, not the same. Very nice. And then this one I've also popped up on dimensionals, and we can put this one straight on with the whole card. And that will give us a little bit of a difference between this card and this card. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that up on dimensionals as well. Do you ever mix and match your stamp sets? I find it very helpful. And I'm just eyeballing here to make sure that this is lined up with the white outline. Okay. This one is going to go on the inside of the card, just with liquid glue. Now this is handy to do if you mess up on your card. You can always cover it like this. I'm putting it on just so that I can have this little dark outline around it, even though there's no screw up underneath. You could also use that if you wanted to change your sentiment. For example, if you made this and you wanted to make it a birthday card, you could stamp this in birthday and put it over top of your existing sentiment. So you can convert your cards. If you've got a whole bunch already made, you could do it this way and convert your card to something else. Okay, and we'll just center this. You can use your grid lines underneath here to help you if you need help positioning things straight. Very nice. Now on the outside, we need a little bling, so we're going to use this ribbon. Now you can measure this out. I just kind of eyeball here. We're going to go right across here, and I'm going to follow the outline of this pattern paper. Okay, so on this one we followed the outline of the white, so my lines are kind of diagonal. Here we're going to go diagonal this way, following the pattern paper instead of following the white. So I'm just going to eyeball it here. It's about 9 inches. And there is a direction that's brighter on one side than it is on the other. And I'm just going to, it's about 9 inches total. So 4.5 and 4.5. I'm just going to eyeball it here and get a second one. Okay, and then to get, if you look at this one, I've got a little flag tail there on both sides. You can almost not see it there, but there is the flag tail on the ribbon. So I'm just going to double these up together, fold them over so the fold side is on the top, and then I'm going to cut at a diagonal, and that gives you the little flag tail. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Cut on the diagonal, and there's your flag. Can we see that? There we go. So let's just put these down. It's going to go right here underneath the white, but we're going to follow the edge of the pattern paper. You could do it however you like. You could do it this way. Or you could do it this way. No, I think, you know what? I think we're going to do just like we did here and follow the edge of the sentiment layer. All right, and we're going to put those on with mini glue dots. You could use liquid glue or tear tape, but you'll be able to see it, and you can't really see the glue dots. So we're going to use glue dots today. But I'm finding that sometimes you can see the glue when I glue them down with liquid glue, the ribbon. And you'll definitely see it here because it's pretty sheer. So I'm just going to scoot this right under here. Beautiful. I love that shimmer. Look at that. I love this ribbon. I'm just going to turn this upside down, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Scooch it under the white and press it down. Beautiful. I love that shimmer effect. All right. And now we're going to add a couple of little pieces of bling. This is neutral adhesive back sequins. And since we use the early espresso, I think we're going to use this dark sequin here. We're going to follow just like that. We're going to use a large one and a small one right up here in the top, mimicking the other card. And on the inside, we've already got birds, so we're just going to leave that as it is. We could put a little bling here. I usually try not to put things on the inside just because it adds bulk, but since this is kind of empty, I'm going to use this, pull some yellow from here and use these here. Just so we bring a little gold to the inside. All right, and that is it for our card. So we have mixed and matched 2 different stamp sets on this card. Beside Me and Places in the Heart. So you can use the sentiments from this dad card and use some mom ones. This is mostly a Mother's Day, and this is mostly a Father's Day, right? But you can mix and match to get exactly what you're after. I hope you liked my videos. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so that you're notified when I post a new video. Thanks for watching.